Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.
Former US diplomat Pardue critical of Bulgaria's policy on Macedonia. In a column for Bulgarian newspaper Trud, James Pardue, one of the signatories of the Ohrid Framework Agreement, said Bulgaria's policy on Macedonia at the latest Council of the Union was not wise. Pardue, the former US ambassador to Bulgaria, highlights that the decision to block Macedonia's EU integration is a policy that is in contradiction to Bulgaria's interests. According to him, the stance does not even benefit Bulgaria's broad national interests, and it represents a step back from the constructive regional policy the country has been implementing over the past years. This reasonable policy reflected the clear understanding that Bulgaria's national interest is best protected when the region is stable, when there is cooperation between neighbors, and when the democratic values of the EU and NATO are implemented, he says. EU asks Macedonia to focus on reforms. Peter Stano, the spokesperson of EU Enlargement Commissioner Stefan Füle, stated on Thursday that Macedonia should focus its entire energy and efforts on the reforms. He reiterated that the European Commission has always highlighted that Macedonia should take such action and deliver results which would enable the Commission to publish a positive report on focal issues, such as reforms and similar matters, which would afterwards enable member states to make a positive decision on opening accession negotiations with the country. This was also reiterated by the European Union in the conclusions of the European Council, he said, adding that it should be the main goal of the country's political agenda. Stano reiterated that the European Commission neither comments on stances of different political actors nor speculates what might happen. However, he once again stressed that all politicians in Macedonia need to make a contribution to the country's EU integration progress. COE Torture Prevention Committee publishes report on visit to Macedonia. The Committee for the Prevention of Torture has published the report on its November 2011 ad hoc visit to Macedonia, together with the authorities' response. The report reads that the practice of some officers resorting to violence against inmates persisted. Inter-prisoner intimidation remained a significant problem, and the vast majority of the establishment inmates continue to be held in totally unsatisfactory conditions, both material and regime. According to this document, radical changes are needed to remedy the shortcomings, while the committee also recommends that the Macedonian authorities develop a professional management approach within prisons. The committee also made specific recommendations regarding the behavior and treatment of juveniles held on remand at the Skopje and Tetovo prisons. Trial over Smilkovci killings begins. The first hearing regarding the Smilkovci killings case did not last very long. Those present in the courtroom were counted. The defendants were read their rights, while the indictment was read as well. When the defendants were supposed to present their defense and respond to the charges, the lawyers asked that the defendants be allowed to see the evidence and perform an insight of the case. Prosecutor Gordana Geshkovska opposed the decision, describing the request as an attempt to stall the trial, because, as she said, such actions could have been taken before the trial had even started. I maintain that there is no evidence because, as a defense attorney, I have performed an insight of the documents with the evidence material, but the defendants are legally entitled to see the evidence material as well, lawyer Nasser Raufi said. The defendants have so far not been enabled to perform an insight of the evidence material, but they will be enabled to do so now, lawyer Mitko Sokolov said. USAID launches Micro and Small Enterprises project. Today in Strumica, USAID launched its new Micro and Small Enterprises project for the Southeast region. The project supports the growth of entrepreneurs and micro and small enterprises through exchange of experience, consultancy, export support and investments. The USAID Micro and Small Enterprises project is a unique opportunity to receive training and practical knowledge, business support services, and financial capital in the most suitable form, all aimed at stimulating higher rates of growth and job creation in the micro and small enterprises sector, said Tatiana Markowska, project management specialist at the USAID Macedonia's Economic Growth Office. This project is implemented by the Center for Entrepreneurship and Executive Development Macedonia, which has provided management trainings and entrepreneurial programs for the past 5 years. Finance Minister accepts 44th opposition amendments. Taking into consideration the Committee on Finances and Budget and the Legislative Committee have been blocked, I have accepted 44 budget amendments, 33 of which submitted by SDSM, said Vice Prime Minister and Finance Minister Zoran Stavreski at Thursday's press conference. He added that 44 amendments represent savings of 191 million denars, that is 3 million euro. This is the largest number of budget amendments accepted by a finance minister over the past 20 years. This demonstrates our wish for compromise, said Stavreski. He expressed belief the opposition would consider the move, thus opening the possibility for acceleration of the procedure for the budget's adoption. According to SDSM coordinator Igor Ivanovsky, Parliament Speaker Trajko Veljanovsky on behalf of the government has revealed a scenario for party putsch in the country which should serve to violate the constitution, rules of procedure and the manner of operations of Parliament. To the opposition, it is unacceptable for the finance minister to submit written response to all amendments, the parliament majority to sign the reports, and presidents of the Committee on Finance and Budget and the Legislative Committee to agree with it without debate and transparency. Doctors reviewing Health Minister proposal. Majority of doctors, members of the independent trade union of the clinical center, are dissatisfied with the offered solution by the health ministry. Specialists and representatives of the trade union organizations from all cities are now reviewing all the proposals, saying only part of them are acceptable. They prepare their own proposals as possible solutions that will be submitted at the next meeting with the health minister. In terms of wages, the union says they would accept minimal increase by 20%, but disagree that it be done within a period of 2 years from now. Doctors also protested in the course of Thursday for half an hour.
Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.